Welcome folks to DevLog update for Omega Squadron. Let's go ahead and I will show you what I've done to the game. I've reworked the entire movement system. Okay, so this works. You can now turn and rotate your character like that. Okay, you can do that with a pad and you go like this. Okay, there's a dialogue. This is a trigger I put for testing. Now you have more sounds. Keycard will show you, this is a credit, and now the keycard will show you that you got the keycard. There you go, you got more sounds. Let's go ahead, and I've done this to and I reverted the sprites of the scaling of the enemies back to 1. Yes, there is the sound for the doors, and see, it's just easier to aim. Now obviously it would be ideal to have a crosshair or something. Anything else I've done? Let's see. Oh yes, when you go and touch an enemy, I still need to figure out the best sound for explosions or enemies dead. But you just lose some health and the enemy just disappear. Of course they will keep meleeing you. So there's that. There are more credits, let's go and pick them up. Now I've added some counter for the scientists here. And we can, yeah, that's about it. I've also made some adjustment to the user interface. And if you press S and you go to controls, you can now rebind your controls. Because yes, I've switched and I migrated the whole input system to the new Unity input system. Now these are the gamepad buttons, not the Xbox controller, but they work the same. It's just the name you see here is a generic button. The way, if you didn't know, the way buttons are identified on a controller are the 4 buttons on your right are the north, south, east and west, because they are placed in that cardinal directions, and then you have everything else. You can customize your keyboard, so if you press here and want to change your buttons, why is this? Because I probably forgot to change the pivot on this one stupid thing, which is good. Now we can do that. You can change that, and you cannot assign mouse buttons or joypad buttons to the keyboard. I've made it so that it doesn't receive, it cancels the rebinding operations whenever you use a keyboard, a mouse or a gamepad button. The same goes for the gamepad. You cannot place keyboard strokes there. And yeah, it's a pretty good thing I've done here. There you go. Anything else I've done? No, I think that's all. Working on the sound, reworking the input system was just, I changed the sounds of some of the weapons. Okay, you can see now there's a, shut up, there is a bar of EXP here for each marine. Obviously in the beginning, when all of your marines are alive, they all have the same experience. Change some of the sounds again. I need to make a sound for freeing the hostages, that's for sure. Okay. So really some kind of visual clue would be good for aiming. I will look on to doing something for that. Anything else? Now I'm working on the logo. Okay, you can also save the game if you want here and load the game. I will not do so because reasons. Anything else I've done really? Added more scientists, polished the game a little bit more, and that's about it. Now, of course, I will need to fine-tune the game, as in, is the player going to use all the clips? Will he run out of clips before finding the exit to the level? How many clips do I want to give to the player? We can disable this one, and so it's not coming. It's not a bad thing. It's actually nice. I like it. The sounds are great. And okay, let me show you now what I'm doing with my logo. Actually, it should be right here. I can show you in the asset. Let's go to sprites. Where is that? Is it here? Why is it not here? Oh, there you go. It's here. Can I open this one up? Can you see it? No, you cannot. So let's do this. So this is the logo I've come up with. You're gonna see in the main screen. It's obviously gonna be resides once in game. It's gonna be used on the Steam page, and I'm still gonna work on this. I began yesterday night or evening before going to bed. I still have to add some touches, refine some of the letters, maybe add something. So this is going to be, initially I wanted to do something like you have the team on the right shooting enemies and healing the wounded, with the main menu over here while your team was here fighting, and do some kind of animated scene where you will see the camera here, a camera that will, two cameras, one here for the main menu or just the UI, maybe just one single camera that will rotate and switch to the face of each marine. But I don't know, something simple like this could work. So yeah, that's I still need to make the intro screen. Now the intro screen is when you press new game. I'm gonna basically draw a space station, the space station you are fighting in, with the ship coming out of hyperspace and the time and location, and then a briefing room or something, so the player is informed of the game, of what's happening, the story, the objective. Obviously, the game is simple. I mean, it's not simple, but it's simple in the fact that it's not story based. Okay, it's a game. I don't like indie games that focus on the story. I find, as an older player, like I'm class 82, so as an older player, I find the story of indie games really stupid, and because that's not their fault inherently. They do not have the resources to have like Nobel prizes write the story. Like if you take The Witcher, there is a romance behind the game, like a good book trilogy. I think there's an entire universe, and the guy is really good at writing. So obviously, the story from the game is good. Now, indie games do not have this luxury, so you either stumble upon the incredibly talented and skilled and gifted writer, or it's just. And to be fair, people who play indie games really love to praise indie games for the story. I don't understand why. I find the stories of indie game to be like skip, 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 because maybe I just have a higher ceiling for what is good to me, and indie games should focus more on gameplay, and the opposite is happening to the market, where you see these sobby story games that absolutely dreadful story. To me, it's the same thing that really negative. Oh, I'm a depressed guy. Oh, this is the story of someone who keeps dying and blah blah blah. So if you take something like Hades, that's a good game. There's a good story, there's good gameplay, it's an indie game. Great. But majority of the games, they just focus on the story, and I think it's dumb. I think you should focus on the gameplay and not skip the gameplay. But considering how times goes, oh boy, players of today, ooh, sheesh, I do not envy them. We older players have been used to play games without actually gameplay mechanics. If you think about something like Gas Shop Simulator, something like that is even selling when all you do is right click on stuff? Really? You pay to play a game where you just go and reorder your shop and serve customers? Why don't you get a job like that? You get even you even get paid. You meet real people, you interact with real people, and you get paid. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, I'm rambling, and I will try to make everything work. So the game core is actually working. I think the only thing I miss is like the level switch when you reach the elevator, and the boss battles, which for which I still have to draw and animate the bosses. I still have to decide on that. So let's say we are 50% done. Okay. From a development standpoint, from like code and stuff, I say we are almost done, except for writing the script for the scripted objects for like one shot, like triggers, bosses, and stuff. And from the artistic point of view, there's still a lot to do. Props for the second and for the subsequent levels. Other than the first one, I still have to make the tutorial, the bosses, and all this thing. Okay, so this is everything I've managed to achieve so far. I think the game is much better than the last time I showed you. So yeah, that's all. Thank you for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye bye.